All right, so we're gonna redo our player one sprite. Jordan's project here, and she's got a girl with a dress that doesn't have the sprite sheet for it anymore, and we're trying to make 3 costumes in each direction. We've gone into this tile set sprite right here that I have, and we're going to use this blue-haired person. So I just highlighted that person like that. I hit copy. I went to our player one sprite. I created a new costume in the player one sprite under paint, and I just pasted that in right here. All right, and we're going to take a look at this, and we're going to change our sprites a little bit. And one of the things that you'll notice about this tile set is that the middle sprite here is the idle, and we're going to call that the D3. Okay, and right off the bat, I noticed that I made a mistake. I want to take this. I want to copy it. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to hit convert to bitmap, and then I'm going to paste it back in. So you always want to be in bitmap when you put in some graphics. When you convert between vector and bitmap, it sometimes will distort the image. So now that I'm in bitmap, I'm ready to go. I'm going to start here with this costume. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take the whole row, okay? And it's just unavoidable. I'm going to end up with some of the heads of the people below. That's okay. I'm going to hit copy, and I'm going to go up to this costume. And we're going to get rid of this girl with the dress. We're going to delete her. I'm going to click convert to bitmap again, and I'm going to paste that in. All right. Now, one of the things you notice is when you paste it in, it may not be centered because those guys weren't. And I actually, when I grab this, now I'm distorting it. So I'm just going to hit the back button so they're not distorted, or it just went away. So I'm going to paste it. And I'm going to zoom in so that I can grab it and move it down. And I'm going to move this person off to the side because I'm not using that one yet. That's going to go on the different costume. And I'm going to move this one aside because that'll be a different costume. And now I'm going to work a little bit better at getting the hair from the character below. And I intentionally did that because I know that you might have that problem happen where when you do this, you'll get some of the parts of the person next to them, and that's okay. All right, so now I'm using the crosshairs here to center the character. And this is the idle position. The middle position is the idle position. And what we're using is 3 for idle. So not F, but D3. And it's very important that you do exactly what I'm showing you. Your idle position is capital D3. So if you're going down, I know that in my intro videos, I said, you know, I maybe use something else like front or whatever, but we're just going to all do it the same. And so I'm going to use D3 for that one. All right. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to duplicate that sprite. And we'll call this one, it automatically became D2, which is totally fine. And so D2 is going to be, I'm going to delete that one. D2 is going to be one of the others. It doesn't matter which one, I guess. So I'm going to make it the one I did put off to the right. I'm going to delete the hair that's from the person below. I'm going to highlight this one, and I'm going to move it over and center it. Okay, and that's D2. And now I'm going to duplicate that. So 2-finger click, duplicate, and it became D4. I want this one to be D1. And same thing, I'm going to delete this character because that's the D2 one. And over to the left is what I'll call D1. I'll delete this hair and I'll highlight that. And remember, you have to center it. So if you don't, you're looking for that crosshair and you're trying to put it in the exact same place that you put the others. And so now I'm going to just, now if you notice, I did not delete I didn't delete the other ones. So like this one, I'm going to delete now. And then here, I'm going to delete the left and right one. So D3 is the middle, D2 was the one on the right, D3 was the one on the left. And I'm actually, just so that it's in the right order, I'm going to put it in the right order. I'm going to move the costumes. I have D1, I have D2, and I have D3. All right. So if you're looking over here, another thing you can do is if you want to just be able to see your character a little bit bigger for the time being, you can always change the size of it later. You can change this to like 200% size, and so we can see them a little better, because we're on the small screen. Like, I don't want to keep going back and forth to full screen like this, because you can't code when you're there. So I have D1, D2. So it looks like we're walking back and forth. D1, D2, D1, D2, and then D3 is when we're standing still. All right, so that's one direction. We have 3 more directions to go. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to delete that while I'm at it. All right. So now I'm going to zoom in, and we're going to work on, let's work on up. All right. And so I'm going to highlight, taking great care that I am getting every part of this row. I don't care if I get a little extra of the other rows. I can clean that up later. But I don't want to cut off like part of their head or part of their arms or anything like that. And again, I'm going to hit copy, and I'm going to go to what she had as her back. All right. And I'm going to call this up. Let's call this up 3. All right. And one of the things I'll point out again is some of you, I've noticed that your sprites are different, your costumes are different sizes. So the whole goal here is you do not want to change the size of the sprite, because that's why we're using the sprite sheet. They're all the exact same size. So if you start trying to resize them, then you have to resize every single one exactly the same, which is not a good idea. So if you wanted to resize them, like you wanted them bigger or smaller than what the sprite sheet comes as, you would resize them. I'm going to undo this. You would resize them all together before you get started, right? You would not want to resize them individually, because it's very unlikely you're going to do it right. You're going to want to do it all at once. So if you want them smaller or bigger, I should have said this before, but just thought of that. You want to resize them first. But I don't want to resize them. I want them, I already started, so I want them this size, okay? All right, so I copied that already, so I'm going to go to her up 3, and I'm going to delete this, and before I paste, I'm going to convert to bitmap. So if it says convert to vector, that means you're in bitmap, and you want to be. And now I'm going to paste those guys right there. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to center the idle. Remember, the middle is the idle. And I'll delete the one on the left and the right later. First, I'm going to duplicate them. All right. And for instance, I'm going to just delete both of these guys, and I'm going to use the one on the left and center it. So that will be my up 2, and I'll move that one up. All right. And then I'm going to duplicate my up 3 again. And this time I'm going to delete the 2 guys on the right. And I'm going to go like this and center it. And that one became up 4. I want that one to be up 1. All right, now I'm going to go back to up 3. I don't need these 2 anymore. And I'm going to delete them. And I didn't quite get all of that, guys, so I made sure I did that. So now I have my idle is up 3. I'm going to move up 1 like this, up 1, up 2, and up 3. All right, and you're going to continue doing this. That's all I'm really going to show in this video, because it's just repetition here. You're going to go back here, all right, and you're going to find your right and your left. And remember, the middle is the idle, and then just call one of these, like maybe the one on the left, your 1, costume 1, so L1 or R1, and L2 and R2. All right, so hopefully that works out for you.